right off the bat. No Zion Williamson. Seems to be all anybody's paying attention to is no Zion. No chance for New Orleans. I'm going to go through some stuff here that maybe could sway opinions a little bit. But there's one saying that we've had on this NBA tip-off show since its inception, and it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And in this series, there's nothing broke, and I don't think I'm going to go about trying to fix it here. The results have been so consistent, and these teams have played 5 times this season because they played in the early season playoff tournament. But 5 meetings this year, New Orleans has won all 5, 4 of those by 10 or better. The only time they didn't win by 10, they won by 5, 117, 112. And throughout those 5 meetings, you'll find that there's been a host of players, star players on each side, not available in particular games. So if you're looking at side, I don't know if you would want to just jump to Sacramento. They have extreme difficulty with this team. And in fact, like I just said, the one game where Zion didn't play, it was on January 7th. And New Orleans won that game 133-100 without Zion. And they've learned how to play without him over the course of the last couple of years. He played an awful lot this year, stayed healthy an awful lot this year. But they had the cast that they're going to put out on the floor today has gone to battle without him before. So I'm going to look from a best bet perspective on this game at the total. And again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Last week, these teams just played in Sacramento. The game hit 258 points. Zion played in that, but now the total is all the way down to 210.5. And I have to ask myself, is Zion Williamson worth 47.5 points worth of difference in this contest final result? And especially considering the fact that every game these two teams have played this year has at least hit 222. They've landed anywhere from 222 or above, which again is 12 points or 11.5 points higher than what the asking price is here this evening. Let's go through some of these too, just so I can point out some examples. Last week, when they got to 258, New Orleans didn't have Brandon Ingram. Still, the game was 135-123 without one of New Orleans' star players. And that's one more thing I'll add here is that it seems to me that there's an awful lot of talk that Zion is their star, but Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum are stars as well. So it's not like New Orleans is shorthanded here. Let's go back to the January 7 matchup where, again, Zion Williamson didn't play. Not only didn't he play, but De'Aaron Fox, the Sacramento, one of their stars, only scored 3 points. So no Zion, 3 points out of Fox. That game hit 233. Let's go back to December 4th. Zion played, but he played lousy, only scored 10 points. And for New Orleans, they didn't even have C.J. McCollum in that game. That game totaled 244. So you get the drift here, 258, 233, 244, all 3 of those games. Star players not involved, on and on and on with this series. It doesn't matter who's on the floor. The styles have taken charge, and they've all gone well over this total of 210.5 here tonight. The average score in this series this year, average final score, 237.2. 27 points better than what we need here tonight. The pace figures to be the same. The scoring opportunities figure to be strong as well. There's a category that I use called potential points. It's every shot that was put up went through the net in a game. And these two teams on average have a potential points total of 466 when they match up with each other. If you get 45.1% of those tonight, you cover this total bet. And they've done that every single time this year. I don't see any reason why you'd want to go against the grain here. We'll probably see some take back. Those who got to this at its opener of 218.5, now seeing it down to 210.5, probably take a shot on an 8-point middle. So if you want to play over, you play it now. But for me, the big game breakdown here, Sacramento and New Orleans. And for me, the best bet in this game is the total over 210.5.